Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another week of Caffeine and Creatives. I am your host, X, engineer and producer. Thank you for tuning in. You could have been watching anything, but you happened to scroll past this video and see what I had going on, see what we have going on. While I have you here, take the time now to like and subscribe to the YouTube page. Just click the little bell down here, somewhere down here, and make sure you turn on those notifications. Also, go over to Instagram and follow us at Caffeine and Creatives. That's at Caffeine and Creatives, spelled out on Instagram. This week we sat down with a very special guest, Vee Coop, aka Vee Coop. Go follow her on Instagram. She is an artist. She is a creative. We sat down to talk about her new book that she has recently released entitled God Walks With You. We had a very in-depth conversation, personally one of my favorites because I love being a blessing to others. In her book, she talks about being open and being available to be used by God in a way that you are able to be a blessing to others, and I don't think that we talk about that subject enough. Tune in this week, Vee Coop. We tap into it and we get deep. Make sure y'all have a great week, everybody. Thank you for listening. Thank you for joining us. And y'all be easy. I'm X. Welcome back. We are back. This is Caffeine and Creatives. If you're just joining us, I am X, your host. With me today, I got Vee Coop.
Dime piece in a Vee Coop to be exact.
Dime piece in a Vee Coop. I actually had dog. I haven't. Dang, I don't want to show you everything else I had written down or whatever. But I have dime piece in quotes.
For real?
Yeah, I went back to because I know all of your stuff said in a Vee Coop or Vanesha Cooper or something like that, but I didn't see dime piece on anything, and I didn't even hear you say it until I went back. I went back to like your first YouTube.
For real?
Your first YouTube video. On the,
did you laugh?
Nah, I did laugh. But I was like, oh, this is interesting. Like it's always like to see what you have going on now, and then see where you came from. Like I love seeing the journey. Like I told you before, it's about the story for me.
Facts.
So going back to, man, I don't even remember what it was. It was a freestyle over.
Was it that Young Jeezy beat?
Was Young Jeezy? I was about to say. I wanted to say Young. I was like, was it Young Jeezy?
I
put it on for me. That's exactly what it was. Yes, it was like, okay, I see where we at. And then I was going through YouTube and I was seeing the freestyles and stuff. And I was one thing I have written on here was the reaction videos, which it didn't throw me off, but I was like, okay, like because you were very consistent with the reaction videos. So where did the react? Just touch it a little bit. Where did the reaction videos come from?
Well, first I got to shout out to King Blitz. He actually is an artist as well, and he on his way to being the #1 reactor. He got 100,000 subscribers off of reactions. But he told me something about how to build an audience. You feel me? And when you think about reactions and when you watching a reaction, it's like the weirdest thing. So when he told me, yo, V, I'm telling you, sis, like, do reaction videos. Like, he had to tell me 3 times to the point where it wasn't until we sat down. I had a birthday. I think it was 2019. He came. He was like, look, scrolling on the phone. He was like, I'm telling you, do the reaction videos. I'm like, all right, bro.
And I looked at some of your reaction videos have like the most views on your YouTube.
Yeah, right now I'm the #1 Kate Bush reactor. So a lot of people are looking for me to do Kate Bush reactions. If y'all don't know who she is, Maxwell did the remake of her song Woman's Work. And I didn't know how big she was until I heard that song. You get what I'm saying? So I'm just falling in love with her more and more. I've kind of found my own way into the reactions. And what I've started to love about it, it's still a hard thing for me because it's not like my #1 thing on the list or whatever. But what I've learned to love about it is that I'm learning so much more music outside of my own world.
Mm-hmm.
So when people say, "Hey, I want you to react to this. Hey, I want you to react to this," and I listen to it and I'm like, "Wow, this is amazing." You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? For so many different reasons, from the sound to the backgrounds to the type of music to dang, this is a different genre I never heard before. It's so many dope things about reacting to music because you get outside of your box of what you think is cool, and you find these other things that other people think is cool, and I just think that's dope. And then I'm not necessarily reacting on a lot of rap, which is a lot of people love.
Mm-hmm.
Like, people love when you react to Eminem. That's what I did in the beginning. But I'm not big on lyrics. I'm big on sound
Mm-hmm.
or whatever. I'm big on lyrics and then sound, if that makes sense. So that's what people love to hear when I do stuff like that, or when I talk about sound and the feelings of where it's coming from and stuff like that.
Cool. So what has adding that to your content structure done for like your personal brand?
I think I'm still figuring that part out, which is why I kind of slowed down on the consistency of it. YouTube definitely taught me to be consistent, and I still am in some format. Um, but that particular world is looking for reactions. You get what
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying? So I throw in my other stuff every now and then, and the people who really love me, they'll go and look at my other content as well.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not 10% of it is not matching yet. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm still learning that aspect of it. Uh, yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to get into it myself.
Mhm.
Um, like I'm big on branding,
Mhm.
um, and aesthetics.
Mhm.
I just like I'm a producer at heart, so like I'll produce anything that can be produced.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So if it whether it be video, music, film, if if there's a role for a producer in it, then I'm interested. Um, so like I'm getting into like my own personal brand as I'm like starting to like trying to put myself out there a little bit more.
Mhm.
Cause like we were talking off camera, like I'm very introverted. So
Right.
it's like I'm so used to like being in my cave of the studio with no windows.
No, I feel that.
I was so used to being in the
Listen, I'm not
studio.
far from it.
Man, I spent so many years in the studio with no windows, not knowing when it was daylight or nighttime until I went outside.
Mhm.
And now it's kind of like now that I've built my like my personal business with being an engineer and stuff, and like all right, I got a little bit of more free time to do what what I feel fulfilled doing,
Mhm.
rather than going to a studio and like having that service for somebody else day in and day out and day out and day in. But now I'm like, all right, well, like I have my YouTube page up now. Not a lot of subscribers yet. Trying to figure out what do I want to be consistent with,
Yeah.
versus just being consistent with something. Like I don't want to just to post, but I do want to be consistent with whatever I do post.
Exactly. So
Um,
yeah, reactions definitely help me to manage that aspect of it, and doing reactions or anything you choose to do on YouTube that's a high demand. Um, you will start understanding like the different things you can just step into and
mm,
be successful at. So I definitely feel like if you want to create a base, a fan base, YouTube is the place to start.
mm,
And when you were saying off camera that um, you are big on the story,
mm-hmm,
or you big on like where it starts and then where you elevate to, you feel me?
mm,
That's what YouTube want to see.
mm.
Like, I know that it's a lot of videos of me reacting looking crazy. You feel me? But I know that they don't care about how good I look. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? They care that they have something to watch, and they care that you are going to commit to what it is you said you were going to do. You
Mm,
know what I'm saying? So that's one thing I love about the viewers on
mm,
YouTube or whatever, because it encourages me to just do it. And but do it with elevation. Do it with consistency and with elevation. Get better. You get
Mhm.
what I'm saying? They're waiting on you to get better so they can be like, man, I remember when she did that video. Ain't have the sound wasn't loud. I couldn't hear her voice. All types of stuff. The video was bad quality.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? They want to be able to talk about that. You know what
Mhm.
I'm saying? Almost kind of how the world watch Cardi elevate. You know?
Man, that was a come up that I don't think nobody was looking for that come up.
Yeah.
But it was amazing to watch that come up and
Extremely.
the type and the person that she's grown to be for sure. Um, Speaking of like being viewed and YouTube, you got a new video out.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
You want to tell us a little bit about the video and the
So
single?
okay. So the song is called "You Are the One" by Vee Coop, Inaveecoop. It's so funny people get the name like they mess it up type deal. I don't understand, but anyways, so Vee Coop is for my real name. But anyways, the song was created right before quarantine, or right when it was about to break out. And my daughter was like, "Can you write a song about me?" I was like, if it happened like that, that wasn't my goal,
Maybe. I don't
I
know.
just wanted to create, and it kind of came out that way. It wasn't necessarily about her, but it was a message that she could definitely hold on to. You know what I'm saying? And that's pretty much how that song came about. It's kind of what I was learning, and also what I wanted to teach all in one song or whatever. And then as I was getting ready for a visual, because Beyonce, she come out with these visual albums, and it's just encouraging. You feel me? So
Say
at this
less.
point,
My wife is in the same boat. She watched the what's the
Homecoming.
one? Not the Homecoming. The one in Africa.
Oh yeah,
The
Disney one.
Black is King.
Black is King. Yeah, that's
Man,
amazing.
she's watched that at least 10 times.
It's so
A week.
amazing. A week.
No, I'm just playing, but she's watched it a lot,
Yeah.
and she like to the point where now she's like we're both creatives.
Hmm.
She's an artist, so it's like seeing visuals like that. She's like, all right, we gotta step it up.
Yep.
What we doing?
I mean, at this point, and you just realize it takes a minute. I feel like for people to understand, but you realize at some point that you can do what you see. Like you really have the power. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, that's my goal is like to always put a visual to whatever it is that I've done, and I feel like kind of mainly because I feel like I've lost a lot of time where I could have captured a lot of moments. You get what I'm saying? So in doing that song, as I was thinking about the visual, the first thing I thought about was me being the fourth generation, of my mother, my grandmother, and my great grandmother. And the whole time I just saw us sitting at a table holding hands. You know what I'm saying? Me asking them, is it true? You know what I'm saying? So with that, that's how the video developed over time, or the thought process of the video developed over time. And I just used my whole family because that's pretty much why the song was created, who it was created for, whoever else need clarity on certain situations, you know. So I kind of utilized that to my advantage. And then I went back home. Like I'm at a time now where I appreciate a lot more things. I'm learning that money is not the only way for you to be rich, type deal. I've learned that I feel like personally that it's a replacement of things that's missing in your life or whatever. So that's kind of how the video is created, why the video was created. Me learning that it's okay to be decisive. I'm still learning that. Like being decisive is very
That
hard
part.
for me. Yeah.
The decisiveness. That
Oh
part.
my gosh. So it's never been hard for me to do, but it's been hard for me to be decisive, and also hard for me to perfect in a sense. You feel me? But what I've known is that a lot of people respect my consistency and the fact that I know that I'm able. I don't let nothing stop me from being able. So it's not nothing that I've thought that I haven't done, and if it hasn't been done yet, it's gonna happen at some point. You know what I'm saying? So that's what the "You Are the One" is about. I think a lot of people minimize it but it's so it holds so much.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
And I'm a big fan, one of your consistency, like you said.
thank you.
Um, but two, I'm intrigued by big things in small packages.
Mm.
Like I
Simple is more.
simple is
Less
more.
is more.
Like less is more. Yeah,
Mhm.
I'm very big on less is more, from like aesthetics to architecture to everything that I like creatively. I think the most profound and most genius things that we like to be consumers of is
Mhm.
something that's the simplest. Like what is the smallest way to say or do or show this grandiose idea?
Bingo.
Like, you know what I mean? And like only like it's very select few people that can like really hit the nail on the head when it comes to like simplicity like that.
Mhm.
Um and we tend to overlook those and like you said, kind of not belittle, but not necessarily see stuff for what it's worth,
Right.
because of how simplified it was made.
Right.
um
Exactly.
so um kudos to you on
Thank
that
you,
for sure.
man.
um where is, because you don't have too many visuals as far as your music goes.
That's my first video.
Yes.
First video. I wanted to create a lot of videos, but I think I was waiting on a lot of things. I put
Hmm.
my energy into a lot of other things. I've always believed in more than I did myself. I didn't
Mm.
really too much believe in myself. So this past 2019, 2020 was all about me learning how to appreciate myself,
Mm.
my craft, my abilities. You get what I'm saying? And every energy that I've put into any other situation, I've taken it back and put it all into myself. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
Because I got to a point where I was empty
Mm.
and I had to refill myself up. So I'm just looking to overflow right now so I could pour overflow into other people.
That part.
Yeah. So that's where I'm
I
at.
feel you. So what do you see, if you put any, I'm sure you've put some thought into it. I don't know what level of thought,
Mhm.
but what's the future looking like for Vee Coop? What are some short-term, long-term goals, or the evolution of which you've been laying a lot of groundwork. First video,
Oof.
first book. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
you have a lot of starting points that we talked about today.
Thank
What are some of the next milestones?
you. Well, my overall goal is to be a motivational speaker. Um, I've started, I think it was 2019, 2018. One of those years, I was, I made myself be consistent to put out a daily video. You
Mm-hmm.
get what I'm saying? So that's something that I'm learning how to do better and better. On a higher scale.
Mm-hmm.
I admire people like Oprah Winfrey, Eric Thomas, the number one speaker in the world,
Yeah.
Les Brown. I love those people who can get up there, tell their story, and you see the other side of it. Like
Mm-hmm.
you're like, no, you ain't go through that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But it's like they did
With
because of
that,
how
yeah.
passionate,
Everything
man.
you saying, it's like that gotta be the truth.
You feel me?
Yeah.
So I'm just like I'm intrigued with stuff like that. Even Bishop Jakes, you know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? Like I'm intrigued with how they do what they do. You get what I'm saying? And I just kind of that's my overall goal. You feel me? But the milestones to get there, I definitely have more projects that I want to do. I just want to be able to be real and authentic about experiences. I
Mm-hmm.
want to be blunt and open. That's why a lot of my stuff is so simple because I don't feel like it was simplified for me. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I'm saying? I feel like I had to dig and research. Not that nothing is wrong with research, but I just feel like it could have been given more directly than it was, if
Mm-hmm.
that makes sense. So that's my goal is to give what I is to give in a way I wish it was given to me.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of why I do all these interviews and stuff like that, and um, to just leave like something behind that people can like really go take from and elevate or soar with or whatever. The other thing is I have projects. I have different kind of books that I want to write. Um,
You
my
have
first,
you have the athletic wear.
the athletic wear. The athletic wear is called Shop After, or actually it's called After Keep Going Fitness Wear. The website and all social media is Shop After, and that's no AFTR, all for things required. Keep going. That's pretty much what that means, and um, that comes from when what's her name? I can't even remember her name. Bill Clinton wife, Hillary. Um, Hillary
It's funny that
Clinton.
we have to backtrack. Like it's your husband,
Right? I ain't want to say
we
you
mess
know.
with your husband.
I'm
You don't know.
sorry, Hillary. All right, so yeah, we had Hillary Clinton, we had Donald Trump. They was both running up. Nobody wanted to vote. Diddy wasn't doing his vote or die campaign.
Right.
Blacks was still getting killed by police brutality. So all of this is transpiring, right? And we're marching. We get out there and we march and we go home. I wasn't fully, I wasn't fully, how do I say, in agreement with that.
You weren't comfortable with that, with just that.
With just that.
Yeah,
What are we gonna do after the march? You feel me? And I was just going over and over in my head trying to figure out what we needed for encouragement. You get what I'm saying? And eventually that idea came. It happens to be After Keep Going, and I happened to be encouraged to create it as a fitness wear brand, which I thought was perfect. Just sitting down with somebody and he was like, man, somebody could be exercising and you got Keep Going on the sleeve, and they want to give up but they see Keep Going and they keep going. I was like, dang, like it's nothing but God. You get what I'm saying? So that's what made me do that. But it's so many more things with that brand that I have to do. So I'm just like, it's a real baby. You get what I'm saying?
That's still in the incubation.
Yeah, like even now that like right now I had to put it on under construction.
I did see that.
For me, oh, you did?
Website.
Yeah, I was like, dang. I looked at the message I sent you. I was like, I had to put it under construction. Like literally right after I sent you the website. I was like, I hope you went to the Instagram. But yeah. So I don't know, just learning FUBU and stuff like that, like how big their name is. And the brand is not even that big no more, but we know what FUBU is, and we not gonna just let it die within our minds. You know what I'm saying? Like we can tell our kids, you know what I'm saying, stuff like that. But after is that thing where I wanted to be as big as what I wear, like Nike. I love Nike. You get what I'm saying? And I feel like it started with fitness, and then it became this fashion thing and stuff like that. And they told us to just do it. Yeah. And like I told you off camera, that was my thing. Like, if I think something, I'm gonna do it.
Exactly.
I'm not even worried about the outcome yet. Once that outcome happens, I'm gonna learn from my pros and I'm gonna learn from my cons, and I'm gonna do it again, and I'm gonna do it again better. And then I'm going to keep doing that, learn from my pros and cons. I don't expect everybody to do that. That's just something that I've been gifted to be able to do, So now it's like, all right, after you have to encourage people to keep going. That message is so, like, crazy, because just like after it's telling you, just like Nike is telling you to keep going, and Nike is telling you to just do it, after it's telling you to keep going. Now it's under construction, so now I have to show y'all how it's gonna keep going. Yeah, like it's crazy, and literally, it was a personal battle first. I'm like, wow, like, and then I realized that the world needed it. Everybody is realizing that's the key. It's consistency. Yeah. If you're not consistent, you gonna be where you stop at. You know what I'm saying? I think Nipsey said something about the reason why you keep going is because you done put all that energy into getting here. So if you put all that energy into keep going, ain't no telling where you're going to end up. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So that's why, like, that fitness wear is so big, but it got so many more things to make it even grander, I just gotta keep going with it.
Yeah, I feel that, and
Yeah.
I definitely agree. I couldn't agree more, really, um, especially with the you were touching on just the consistency and really putting yourself out there to have something tangible to be to uh to be looked at later.
Mm-hmm.
Like I literally left this here. This is gone. Like after I'm long and gone, this will still be here. This exists.
Generational wealth.
Generational wealth. You know what I mean? And not just generational wealth, but just legacy.
Mm-hmm.
In general, like you were saying with like FUBU, it's like it's not necessarily a popular brand now, but the culture knows.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Can't be forgotten.
yeah, the culture is not going to be forgotten because the culture is going to make sure it makes it to the next generation. And I was talking to a friend the other day, and I was like, what not what I'm realizing now, but what I'm kind of paying more attention to with like being a content curator and wanting to put out content and make different whether it be physical products or like visual content or written, like if you want to do write books and stuff like that,
Mm-hmm.
is the difference, like going way back in history, the difference between like a Michelangelo
Mm-hmm.
or a Shakespeare in comparison to everybody else that was around them during the time is that they wrote their stuff down.
Bingo. Just gotta say, once you write it, it ain't yours no more.
Yeah, I about to say Shakespeare. Like we know who Shakespeare is because Shakespeare wrote his butt off, day in, day out.
Yep.
Can't nobody tell you that that man ain't a poet.
Facts.
You don't even know Shakespeare for anything else other than writing,
Yep.
right? He could have been just like me and you. He could have had 5, 6 other things going
Facts.
on.
He could have.
He could have, very much so. Michelangelo could have had everything in the world going on. I'm sure if you're talented enough to paint the Sistine Chapel,
Mm.
like I'm sure you gifted in something else. Like there gotta be something else that you like to do on your spare time.
Facts.
Um, so it's like I refocused how I see the term legacy,
Mm-hmm.
and it's not necessarily about how great anything that you do is now. It's just about it existing.
Right.
You know what I mean? And the big my big takeaway from 2020, if nothing else, is uh, do something that brings you fulfillment, that brings the people around you up, whether it be joy or persistence, telling them to keep going.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Whether that be not even it doesn't always have to be uplifting or positive. It can also be a chest check every now and then,
Right.
like the people, like I'm sure you're like I sent this is my first time meeting you today, so I assume through our conversation that you're the type of person where it's like I don't want you to just I don't want what I put out in the world to just be my highlight reel.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like I wanted to tell y'all what's really going on.
Exactly.
Exactly. So it's like being gifted to be that type of person where it's like I want everybody to see the full circle because I don't want you to just grow with all of these aspirations and all of this joy and not know the real.
Bingo. That's why
Um
I was saying that it got to be a way for me to be able to give a message that I wasn't given.
mhm.
Yeah.
Which is part of this book,
Yep.
right? So
God
it's
walks with me.
yeah, so God walks with me. It's like it's about that journey.
Mm-hmm.
It's about I was reading up on like the breakdown on Amazon, and it's like the people and experience that have inspired you and have like poured into you spiritually,
Mm-hmm.
and then how how those situations and those people inspire you to inspire other people to be that to 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 be that cup that runneth over into other
Bingo.
cups. You know what I mean? And like creating those opportunities for yourself by providing those opportunities for
For
other people.
others.
Like, you know what I mean? So,
Well, you said it better than me. But
so it's like I really like that thought process, and
thank you.
that's one really main reason why I wanted to sit down with you. Um, So I have a couple more questions, and we're gonna wrap it up.
Okay.
But one of my questions that I'm trying to fit into uh, caffeine and creatives, I used to ask people like for some advice for like the younger generation, like if I was 19, 18, 19, coming out of high school, trying to figure out what it is I wanted to do with my life, and like there's the fork in the road of like the educational route, and sometimes it not aligning with your passion.
Mhm.
Like, do I chase the check or do I chase what I feel like is gonna make me happy?
Mhm.
Now it's more so I kind of want to pinpoint giving that advice to a broader audience
Mhm.
by just shaping mindsets more than just physical advice, because my first episode of season 2 was with my dad. And
That's what's
so
up.
he was saying when we got to the advice segment, he was like, I don't have any advice for anybody because people are not gonna listen to you.
Mm.
The only thing that people are going to ever, only thing that's ever going to compute to people is the experience. They're gonna have to go through it.
Mhm.
Um,
You can't cheat it.
you can't cheat it at all. So, which framed my question: what do you feel like is your most valuable habit?
Mm. Just just doing it. I mean, I literally don't have. I can't think of any other habit that's more valuable than that. Like you,
Mm,
you said something that I haven't even heard nobody put it that way. Like it's about it existing.
mm-hmm,
Like it's so many things right now that I don't do that I would love to do that people still ask me about. You know what
mm-hmm,
I'm saying? That people still mention. And it makes me want to do it even more, but I know that I can't just do it any other way, or I can't do it anyway. Like I said, yeah, I just do it, but now I'm in a mind space of that I have to just do it right. Like I can't just do it any kind of way.
mm-hmm,
I know that there's a better way now. You know
mm-hmm,
what I'm saying? So that's my most valuable asset is being able and knowing, because some people don't even know. Like I think whew, I can't think of nobody's name today. Harriet Tubman. She was like,
You couldn't remember
she
Harriet
could.
Tubman?
It's just
I'm
it
just
be on the
playing.
tip
I'm
of my
just playing.
tongue,
No,
right?
I completely
But
understand.
yeah, she was like, she could have freed more slaves if only they knew they were
Slaves,
slaves.
yes,
That's crazy.
that's mind-boggling for sure.
What? So I was like, when I heard it, I mean, it stuck with me. And then like, even Maya Angelou, no human is greater than the other human. So it's just knowing that I'm able to just do what I think about doing instead
Hmm.
of allowing it to stay a thought is my value.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And if I could show other people that it's theirs, and if they could actually understand and use that to their advantage, then I've done something. Even if it's just one person, like
Hmm.
if it's just one person, I will be fine with that.
Yeah,
A lot of
that's when the Tupac quote comes in.
go ahead and say it.
Oh, I might not change the world, but I might spark the brain that does.
Facts. Yes, I remember that. I remember that one. So yeah, so sometimes when I put my energy into people, I try my best to put my energy into the ones who I feel like are ambitious, but they don't know how to use it. You know what I'm
Mm,
saying? So I try my best to guide as much as I possibly can for the people who I know that are ready.
mm,
But me talking is for the people who probably are not ready just yet.
mm,
But I'm hoping that them watching this experience, or me go through this experience and channel through these experiences, they can know that, dang, if Coop did it, I can do it.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's how it was for me watching Young Thug.
Mm,
I know exactly where he came from. I don't know every trial and tribulation he had to go through, but I was where he grew up at. You know what
mm,
I'm saying? So knowing who he was then and who he is now, that's inspiring. You know what
mm,
I'm saying? Any type of way. So I use him as an example a lot, just because now I know that I'm able. You know, for sure. Like that sparked my confidence. I always knew that I could do something, but I wasn't ever confident in my abilities until now.
I think that the like seeing people go through things like that, um, like I'm I'm always floored by the people that are humble enough to put those humbling situations in front of the world.
Forefront.
One, but for perspective for myself, and I'm huge on perspective. Like I always think of every thought that I have, I think of it twice, and at least twice, in two different perspectives. Like, all right, let me think about it like this. Well, what if I thought about it like this? Same situation, different perspective. And like seeing the trials of people and understanding, like I was saying, like we are the type of people who is like, I don't want you to just see my highlight reel. I want you to see the whole story. I want you to see where I came from and see how I got to what you're seeing in front of you. But understanding once you start, and I think you really realize it once you actually start putting yourself out there. When you start kind of putting those particular trials out there in front of people, and you realize how much, even with sharing that much, there's so much that you don't share.
Yes.
Right. So it's like when you're around somebody like a young thug, and you're like seeing them get through whatever you actually saw them get through, and then realizing like I can only imagine what I don't know.
Yes.
You know, I can only imagine what I like. I've seen you like make it through some stuff, like, so I know what I don't know has to be flooring.
Cause I don't know who he is now.
You know what I mean? Like,
so it's just it's that's the thing that I hold on to a lot. I hold on to it a lot, cause I'm so excited, so proud of what he overcame. You know what I'm saying? And now, and then the fact that you take the whole hood with you, like, you know what I'm saying. And though I'm not able to like really like have a conversation with him just yet, I just always try to like throw out there, yo, thank you for saving the hood. You feel me? And I always think about how we were raised in elementary school or how they carried us through elementary school was no child left behind. Like it's literally no child left behind. You feel me? Like the more that, as long as you know that you can go somewhere else, we gonna go somewhere else together. You know what I'm saying? And but we not gonna forget. Like my dad say, don't forget where you came from.
Right.
So I'll never forget where I came from, and just knowing that there's another place that you can go. But I think this is a whole different story for another time, but I think what I don't ever like really truly put into play is what it takes to get to another place that you can go, which is why I've learned how to appreciate the other riches aside from money. You get what I'm saying? Knowing that, my family, the type of family I have is very rich. You know what I'm saying? The ideas I have is very rich. It's so many different riches that comes with the world, you know what I'm saying, that we have to appreciate in order to get to those other things that we desire so much. You know what I'm saying?
There was one I was just about to say something and I forgot what I was gonna say. I do that so much.
My bad. I probably
Oh
rambling over
no!
here.
It was something you said that made me think about something, but I can't remember what I was about to say. But dang, what was it? It was a good one too. It was one of the things where I was like, yeah, say that. I'll remember it at some point in time. But I really appreciate the conversation today.
Thank you for having me.
You definitely we gotta go out. We gotta experience some life, and you gotta come back.
Facts. I'm here.
We can have enough. You gotta check back in with Caffeine and Creatives, so we can keep tabs on the journey. You know what I mean?
Definitely.
I want to start inviting people back just so we can kind of see the progression of everybody. And I think it's very valuable that that we continue to be those sources of light and positivity, and like the people, like the focal point of the podcast of Caffeine and Creatives is simply wake up and create. Right? Yep. So the underlying tone is wake up and create, like whatever that is. You don't I don't want people, and I've had people on the show that were like, I'm not a creative, right? And I'm like, how are you not a creative? Like you do this, you do
Right.
this and this. Like that takes a level of creativity. That didn't before you did that, it didn't exist.
Facts.
You're a creative.
Yeah.
So,
Straight up.
straight up. So, I want to encourage everybody out there to keep creating, uh, no matter what it is, whether you're creating a physical thing, whether you're creating an opportunity.
Nah, for real.
Whether you're creating an opportunity for yourselves, if you're creating an opportunity for the people around you, um, I want you to just keep in mind, keep going.
Keep going. After all for things required.
Yeah, after. I appreciate you, Vee Coop,
I appreciate you,
coming
man.
on. Where can make sure the people know where they can follow you?
You can follow me literally anywhere at INAVEECOOP. That's in a V Coop. VEECOOP. I never did that nowhere, but shout out to Snoop Dogg. That junk's
Snoop.
so fire, right?
Yeah, that's hard.
So, and then social media and music. So, and it's still in a V Coop for music as well. All platforms. The only thing that's different is my book. My book is by my real name, Vanesha Cooper. This is in ebook, audio, and paperback. So definitely make sure you go get that. The only thing that didn't improve me is Audible, but we're gonna figure out how to get through. So just hold tight.
For sure.
And yeah, man, I think that's everything. Yeah, I think that's
Cool.
everything.
I appreciate you again. Thank you for coming by. Ladies and gentlemen, this is another episode of Caffeine and Creatives. I am your host, X. You can follow me at eks.wav. That's x.wave. And go ahead and follow Caffeine and Creatives on, we're on Instagram now at Caffeine and Creatives. Just spell it out. Caffeine and Creatives on Instagram. So y'all have a blessed day. Love y'all. Be easy.
Later.